Since its original release in 2014, Guerlain has released 7 flankers of its popular fragrance, L'Homme Ideal. Today we're going to discuss the 5th release in the flanker line. Is it going to be better than the rest? Stay tuned and find out. So today's video is going to be another unboxing, first impressions, and update video. This time we come to the house of Guerlain. We have L'Homme Ideal L'Intense. So L'Homme Ideal L'Intense from the house of Guerlain is a men's amber woody fragrance released in 2018. The nose behind this fragrance is Thierry Wasser. It is an eau de parfum concentration. All right, let's check out this presentation. So here's the box for L'Homme Ideal L'Intense. If you guys are familiar with the line, this box does resemble the other boxes in the line. This is just a black square here with the name of the fragrance. We do have a gray box on the back, a bit of information. Other than that, not too much going on with this box. Let's check out the bottle. So here's the bottle for L'Homme Ideal L'Intense. Again, if you guys are familiar with the line, this does resemble the other bottles in the line. The only difference is maybe we have a different color label here. And I believe the original had a black cap, but there's some other ones that have a gray cap, maybe a red cap. We do have a very thick, sturdy glass, though, which is my favorite part of this bottle. It's probably just the glass. It's very thick and heavy and sturdy. Very nice quality. Very familiar when it comes to the other bottles, but nice bottle from the house of Guerlain. All right, so here are the notes for L'Homme Ideal L'Intense. In the top, we have almond, chili pepper, and cardamom. In the mid, we have leather, rose, and labdanum. And in the base, we round things off with smoke, tonka bean, vanilla, sandalwood, and patchouli. Yes, I do have quite a bit of experience with the house of Guerlain, or Guerlain, however you guys want to pronounce it. But yeah, I've tried lots of their fragrances, from their expensive stuff down to their cheaper stuff. And I've tried quite a few from this line. My top 3 favorite, I think, so far right now, it's going to be at number 3. I do like the white bottle, the cologne bottle. At number 2, I did like the eau de parfum version. I believe that one had tobacco and maybe it was either plum or cherry. I think it was cherry. And then the extreme version is going to be number 1. And I believe that one had tobacco and that one had plum instead of the cherry note. So it was different kind of fruity note, but both very good in their own right. It was pretty tough deciding between those two. And this is the only one that I haven't tried yet. So I'm looking forward to trying this one. Was a little upset they got rid of the matte black bottle. They actually decided to put it back in a clear bottle. I'm guessing they just had a bunch of bottles laying around, and to save costs and production, maybe they just threw them in these bottles here and slapped on a different label. But it's not a deal breaker. I am expecting to get the same DNA though. I do see almond in this, and the almond notes almost the mainstay in every one of these flankers. But yeah, looking forward to trying this fragrance. So let's give this fragrance a first impression. All right, here we go. Clean hand. Pop the cap. Good sprayer. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Definitely has the same DNA. Immediately reminds me of the eau de parfum version, but this one's spicier, more masculine. Yeah, definitely getting the chili pepper, definitely getting the cardamom. I can get that rose note a little bit, but it's not a feminine rose. It's just in there for a bit of that rose flavor that it brings to the table. Not getting the leather just yet. Getting a little bit, but I bet it'll be stronger here in a few minutes. Yeah, I can see why they originally put this one in a matte black bottle, because this one is darker and smokier. Yeah, right now, to my nose, this one is the most mature and like the most maybe complex, if you will, because there's just a lot going on right now. And it's taking it down a few different paths. Whenever you smell the original, I really like the original Ideal or Ideal, however you want to pronounce it, because it had that sweet almond cherry note. This one sort of has it, but not a lot. It's there, but it's being covered up by other stuff. We have a lot more going on, smokier, spicier, way more masculine. Yeah, it's sweet. It's not gourmand sweet. This one's just smoky and masculine and spicy with that almond note. So far, not a bad fragrance. I do think right now on first 30 seconds that if you guys like this line but thought maybe it was a little too sweet or a little too juvenile and you want something a little butched up, this might be the fragrance you want to go to. We'll see how it develops, but right now it's smelling nice. I can definitely see some of the DNA from all of them, or at least the ones that I've tried. I don't think I've tried the cool version, and I think there was one more that I haven't tried, but definitely get the original DNA, but not overwhelming. Definitely can see the leather note that's in the Eau de Parfum version. And other than that, I think it's sort of doing its own thing. Getting the smoke and the labdanum. The tonka bean and vanilla hasn't hit yet. It's not quite as woody as I would expect here in a little bit later. But I'd be curious to think what this one smells like in the air. Whenever I wear this one in a while and I start getting wafts for myself, because I really want to see what this. Because right now it has a lot going on, and you can tell it's definitely a more masculine, butched up version of the original. And this was the 5th release. So by then we already released, I think all of them, really, most of them anyway. Although I do think maybe Eau de Parfum came out 6, we'll see. I have to look back. But anyway, you can see where they took those and sort of just made this one just an amped up, butched up, more masculine version. And I'm not mad at that. I do actually like this. This one has more of a niche kind of smell, if you will. I know that Guerlain technically is a niche house, but all the other ones just sort of smell designery, right? They're okay, but they're not the greatest. This one actually smells more complex. Like it has a lot more going on, a lot more ingredients, just a lot more avenues to really go down. But that's just my initial reaction, because this thing could easily change on a dime and I wouldn't have any idea like where it's going to go next. So I guess that's pretty good why I do the update, right? But yeah, right now, decently surprised with this fragrance. I'm 40 now, so I definitely think I can pull this one off. Smells nice. Decent combination of the original DNA and some new notes in there to make it more masculine and butch. So right now, I'm not mad at this fragrance. So I'm going to wear this fragrance today, over the next couple of days. Give you guys an update shortly. Talk to you then. All right, well, I'm back with my update for L'Homme Ideal L'Intense from the House of Guerlain. Yeah, so it's been the last few days with this fragrance, and I gotta say, I do actually like this fragrance. I do think this is a decent addition to the flanker line, because I did try the other ones from the line, and they're a little masculine more than others here and there in a couple of the different ones. But this one really goes off in its own direction, and it's very spicy, very masculine. The best way I can sort of compare this fragrance to be, if you were to take the original L'Homme Ideal with that nice almond, sort of cherry almond, tonka bean sort of opening note, and the sweetness from that, and mix it with like Bulgarian Man in Black, or maybe Pure Distance M. Even though that's a way more high quality fragrance, this fragrance sort of has the same spicy aspects as those two. So if you're to just mix the original with those two, this is probably what you're going to get, which I do really like that about this fragrance, because I do like the original Ideal and I do like Bulgarian Man in Black. The spiciness of that fragrance, the darkness, the deepness, the masculinity of that fragrance is just great. And I do think they did a good job with this fragrance. I think they added the DNA of the original, and they added some extra masculinity. Longevity for this fragrance is average to above average. I did get 8 to 10 hours with this fragrance. After that, it does get closer to the skin, but I did still get it the next day. If you want to say that it goes beyond that, that's fine, because literally the next day after I worked out, I didn't take a shower yet, but I was hot from working out. I could smell it coming off my skin. So I knew it was there, but it wasn't booming by any means. It was more of a skin scent, but it did, once I cooked up a little bit, once I got a little warmer in my apartment, I was able to actually smell it again. I was like, wow, that actually has really good longevity. So I'm not going to go, over the top and just say it lasts like 2 days or whatever like that. But, I am going to say at least 8 to 10 hours for sure. You're going to notice this fragrance on your skin. Projection for this fragrance, well, unlike the longevity, the projection was moderate to this fragrance. Don't get me wrong, the first hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, like most fragrances, are going to be your strongest. It didn't fill up a room by any means, and it wasn't beast, but it was detectable. I was getting hints, pretty strong wafts, and Christy actually liked this fragrance on me. But after that, it gets a little bit closer. I'm going to say it's moderate because it just didn't, I felt like this fragrance really could have pushed out even more than it did. Then again, with some of these spicy notes, it's probably not a bad thing that it's not super duper strong, because this, and I'll get to that in the occasions, but you're probably going to be wearing this one, in evening events and probably, closer to people. So you're not going to want to really be choking people out with this fragrance. It's very spicy. So I think moderate projection is really good for this fragrance. Seasons for this fragrance, well, if you guys haven't guessed already, I guess it isn't in the black bottle, but if it was, you probably would have guessed it a little bit easier. But this fragrance, I do believe, would be best for the fall and winter, pretty much the cooler months of the year. So fall, winter, early spring. This one's just very deep, dark, spicy. Again, I wish I had the black bottle because that one does sort of give you a better picture of the juice. Very spicy, very dark, very masculine, but very sexy as well, which is better, for the evening events. But yeah, I do think this fragrance, the way, again, it's not super strong, but it's strong enough and spicy enough to cut through that cold. Occasions for this fragrance, well, like I mentioned previously, this fragrance is going to be better for evening events, formal events, date nights, very sexy fragrance. Like I said before, I do wish I had the black bottle because, right off the bat, you probably would have been able to tell that it was going to be made for evening events. It's very, very deep, dark, very spicy, very sexy. Yeah, like I mentioned, date night. It's probably safe enough for work. I will say that. It's very masculine, probably safe enough for work. You might actually get complimented at work with this fragrance as it's not super strong, but probably going to be too spicy and too deep and too resinous and too just masculine for just casual day wear. So evening events would be best for this fragrance. Ages for this fragrance, I'm going to say are 25 and up. I do think this one is spicy enough for 25 and up, but also playful enough. There's a little bit of that sweetness with the vanilla and some of the almond note to kind of give a little bit of sweetness and some powderness to kind of give it a little bit of, playfulness, if you will, for the younger crowd. It's also very affordable. I think I picked this up for around $70. I think I had a discount on Amazon, but I did pick it up for around $70, which isn't too bad, especially for the fragrance that you're getting. I did compare this one to a couple of others that are, pretty popular out there, and I think you're getting the best of both worlds. But 25 and up, I think, is a safe age range for this fragrance. Again, it's playful enough for the younger guys, but masculine enough for the older guys. So overall, I do like this fragrance. I really think it is a decent addition to the line, and I might have to actually rethink my lineup of my favorites from this line. I do think that the Extreme still is my number one. This one might either be in a tie or might have to move into number 2 with the Eau de Parfum, and the Cologne might get bumped to the Eau de Parfum to 4 and put the Eau de Parfum at 3. But this is a really good fragrance, guys. Like I said before, the first two, the Eau de Parfum and the Extreme, are sort of similar. They have a couple of differences here and there, but overall they're kind of the similar sort of composition. This one really does sort of break away from that mold and really does take it down a very masculine, dark, deep, spicy path that I really liked. I'm 40 now. I'm going to be 41 in October, so I'm really digging these sort of more masculine, spicy scents. And if you guys remember my video on Pure Distance M, I loved that fragrance. I compared that one to a way higher quality version of Bulgari Man in Black. And that right now, I think Bulgari Man in Black's pretty affordable, but this is sort of like the best of both worlds. You get the DNA of the Ideal cologne, and you also have the spiciness and the leathery note and the vanilla and the just the resinous, the deepness and the darkness of those fragrances in this fragrance. I really do like this fragrance, guys. Like I said, the almond note on top is really, really nice and powdery and sweet, a bit of a cherry vibe. The chili pepper and the smoke and the patchouli and the sandal will give it a nice dark resinous woodiness. The tonka bean and the vanilla is going to be in that dry down. So this dry down, I didn't mention it in the first part of this update, but the dry down is very, very good. Very tonka bean heavy. Has some vanilla in there for some sweetness, nice and powdery in the dry down. Guys, this is a really good fragrance. Maybe you guys can get a smaller bottle for less. This is a 100 ml bottle. I think I said I paid around $70 for this. But try to shop around. Maybe you can find it for less. I do think if you're a little bit older and you like the originals, but you thought maybe they were too little, a little too youthful, a little too sweet, a little too playful, maybe step up your game with getting L'Homme Ideal L'Intense, because I do think that will solve your issues if you had any issues with this fragrance, guys. So please let me know if you've tried this fragrance. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one down in the comments below. All right, thank you guys so much for watching our video on my channel. If you like this video, please click that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on those notifications for future first impressions videos and very exciting content just like this. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Dollars and Cents. There, you'll find fragrance-related photos and future contest winners. And as always, until next video, you guys take care. Thanks.